Hello friends, I am Dr. Charudatta. I am discussing about information literacy, need and concept. Today it is said that we live in an information society where information is everything. Right from morning when we wake up till night we are depending on information. Each sector in the society is increasingly depending upon information. So, in this society, we are powerless if we do not have information. Means, information is power. If you want to survive dominantly in any sector like politics, research, sports, business, security, education, health, culture, and arts, you must have an appropriate information in your hands. After the advent of IT and ICT, the information available 24 by 7. Various means are available to access the required information. Mobile computers are now essential dimensions of our lives. Any sort of information, any type of information, any form of information, information from anywhere, information of any time, information from anyone is now easily available through mobile or computers. Education sector is also changed after advent of IT and ICT. Manuscripts, books, periodicals, whichever text was available in print form are now converted in digital forms. Various resources in libraries like dictionaries, directories, encyclopedias, theses and dissertations, journals, magazines are now available on single click. Previously, information was stored in shelves in the libraries, but now this all information is available on your fingertips. In short, we can say that there is an information explosion. Information is produced in abundant manner at every second. Information in conventional sources is now also converted in digital form and is made available to us. We are now getting an updated information. The information becomes old as new information is produced at every second. That's why we are living in an information society or in an information age. Each coin has two sides. Just we have seen the effects of IT and ICT and also discussed how the information is easily accessible despite of time and place. But as obvious, certain problems are also in existence, like information overload. A very simple example is that our mobile phones are flooded with wanted and unwanted information. Periodically, either we need to clean up our storage or need to expand it. Means information is produced at every second. Anyone can now produce information in any form and can share it to a large audience. So, it is said that there is an information overload. We try to make ourselves and our systems to cope with this ever increasing production of information. Problem is an information obesity. We have seen that a tremendous information is generated and also equally available. But whether the information is reliable or unreliable, whether the information is authorized or unauthorized, whether the information is original or plagiarized, whether the information is old or current, is the information which I am accessing is fishy or is it fake? We don't know the correct answers of all these questions because there is no mechanism to check whether the information on digital platform is genuine or not. Anyone can produce it and can put it on digital platform. There is a mixture of junk, fake and false information and healthy information. So it is not correct assumption that information on internet is always good because it could be swollen and not healthy or strong. Information poverty is the next problem. If a person does not have an information or does not have necessary skills to acquire appropriate information, then he is a poor person from information point of view. In other specific words, information poverty is the situation in which individuals and communities within a given context do not have the requisite skills, abilities, or material means to obtain efficient access to information, interpret it, and apply it appropriately. It just means that if you do not have appropriate information required in decision making, problem solving, or even survive easily in everyday life, then you are called as an information poor person. Information divide is one of the increasing problem in an information society. It is an uneven gap between the persons having information and persons do not having information. Obviously, the persons having information are dominant over others in terms of resources, knowledge, and wealth, of course. This gap is now widening day by day because people are lacking of appropriate information skills. What could be the solution to these problems? The very first and obvious solution is the librarian. Yes, the librarian is the only knowledgeable person who knows the in and outs and all the dimensions of information and its sources. He will either provide you an appropriate, precise, reliable, and current information or will guide you towards the authorized and reliable sources of information. He is the only solution to these problems. He could be a sailor to help you to sail in this ocean of information. He could be your guide, assistant, or helper in picking up the right piece of information in your knowledge journey. But for this, you need to approach him at his workplace or either virtually. But in everyday life, it is not possible to visit library or librarian. Certain institutional constraints are also there. So, if it is not possible to approach a librarian, then how can you manage it? How can you get information so as to solve your problems? Is there any other solution? Yes, the other solution is information literacy. Acquire information literacy skills so as to access information on your own. The word information literacy is comprised of two words, that is information and literacy. Information means data, number, text, image, diagrams, video, findings, conclusion, available in various types of sources like person, manuscripts, books, periodicals, electronic media and digital media, etc. Literacy means person's ability to identify, select, access, evaluate, present, communicate and apply effectively in an ethical and secure way. Now we'll discuss the definition of information literacy. Information literacy is defined in terms of attributes of a person. An information literate person has an ability to identify the exact need of information. Means, before starting information search, we should first consider what information is in our hand. What are the expectations? What is the information gap? If you are a teacher, then you are supposed to think in detail. What concept is there in text box? Is there any background? Is there any motivation, history or a person of that concept which is not discussed in the textbook and that is quite understandable to the students to which you are teaching? For example, if you are a language teacher, then you are supposed to brief out the extra information and other literary work of an author or poet. If you are a mathematics teacher and you are teaching Pythagoras theorem, then can you brief out the practical application of Pythagoras in everyday life? Means you should identify what information is there in a textbook, what information is not there in a textbook, and what information should I collect that is relevant to topic and also suitable to understanding level of students and wider their scope of knowledge. Second, select the appropriate source or sources of information. As observation says, we use Google to search the information. Despite of various sources or resources are in existence, ranging from manuscripts to digital, we never think of selecting appropriate source. Even when we receive information from Google, we never check which source the Google searched this information. For many users, Google is the appropriate source of information. But my friends, Google is not a source. It is just a search engine and it helps you to search information which is in existence in various sources. If you want just meaning, then you are supposed to select dictionaries. If you want conceptual background or historical development or in-depth information, you are supposed to select encyclopedia. If you want geographical or astronomical information, you are supposed to select almanac and so on. So, you must know various sources of information and its dimensions also. Third is, securely access the adequate information from selected sources. You should know the organization of information in various sources because information organization is different in each sources. For example, alphabetical, or chronological. Fourth is evaluate the accessed information and source. Not all the information you get is always authorized, reliable, precise, or current. As we discussed, the concept of information obesity, junk or spam or fake information is also in existence. So we need to evaluate the information before using it. The last skill is to use information ethically, effectively, and securely. The information you get is the creation of some other person. So when you use the information from any source, you are supposed to give the credit to the original creator of that information. More, you may get the information on a concept in various forms, that is pictorial, textual, audiovisual, diagrammatic, and also from various sources. You should be able to repackage this information and should be able to present it in a homogeneous manner despite of forms and sources. Also, the information you collected should be communicated through appropriate communication channel and should consider the issue of cyber security also. In short, it is a set of skills required to be information literate, require an understanding of exact need of information, the sources available, how to find the information, the need to evaluate results, ethics to use the information, effective presentation of an information. Now we'll move towards the importance of an information literacy. Very first, from technological point of view, we have seen that the aspects of information are changed. Each type of information on each subject is now converted in digital format. Previously, it was stored only on computers, then started to be stored on remote servers and made available to scientists, businessmen, industrialists, and educationists also through wired internet. Now, the information is available through wireless communication mode on everyone's mobile. Due to this technology, we now have access to information for 24 by 7 despite of geographical location. More, though it is said that the information is available on internet, but it is available in various types of resources on internet. For example, blogs, websites, social media, scholar groups, e-journals, databases, etc. Information literacy makes us aware of all these resources and tries to inculcate the skills of critical thinking in relation to use appropriate source or resource on internet as well as in the library. Second importance is from learner's point of view. Nowadays, self-learner or an independent learner is trending. Many universities and institutions are offering part-time or distance learning courses. Students are not getting time to visit libraries and to read reference books. They think that everything is easily and anytime available on internet, but it does not mean that everything on internet is always reliable or true. Like reference books, all the content on internet is not going through editorial process. Anyone can create his own web page. So in learning, appropriate information on the topic is very important. Students should be able to think critically while learning independently. which information is needed for me, where can I get the information, how can I access the adequate information, whether the accessed information is reliable and authorized, do I have the ability to analyze, synthesize the information accessed from various sources? Answering to all these questions is nothing but critical thinking. Thus, information literacy tries to impart critical thinking skills with respect to use of information within the learners. Third one is from teachers' point of view. Teachers are considered as facilitator or guide of students. They are supposed to teach students how to learn. They are also supposed to guide students in learning how to learn and which will be beneficial for students in their future lives. Instead of teaching everything which is happening traditionally, they should foster them to gain knowledge on their own. In this learning process, they should guide them, force them, or help them to think critically. Even while preparing for their own teaching, teachers should keep them busy to gain information relevant but out of textbook. This supportive information gained from other sources will enrich the teaching learning process. The teacher should also think critically to provide reliable and authorized information related to topic, thus will help in enriching teachers as well as students also. So it is the need of time to inculcate information literacy within the teachers and students so as to make them survive easily in this information age and information society. Thank you.